Everybody, it's Joe Vizio. Hope everybody is doing well. Figured I would make another video. So kind of got dealt a blessing in disguise kind of blow this weekend. Had two of my accounts. I lost them. You go up and down, you take the good with the bad. This was a expiration of a 3-year contract, and I've been involved with them for the past 2 years. And they just decided to renew with a different company. I would have to assume at a cheaper price. But that's what happens in this business, is you go up and you go down. No, not too much of a biggie. It was just a 1 day a week. It was one of my bigger Sunday accounts. And why do I say something on here? Well, because I believe in talking about the good and the bad. This is supposed to be a video journal, and I talk about it all. I say it's kind of a blessing in disguise because, to be honest with you, these places were kind of a pain in the ass. They were places that they should have had more than 1 day a week cleaning. I mean, it was a medical facility, and the employees in the facility didn't do any cleaning. So if anybody was going to do any cleaning, it was going to be me, and that was 1 time a week. So it was kind of nasty. It was one of those places to where, I kind of work up until the money runs out, and when the money runs out, I just good thing I don't use these facilities. So, it's okay. That leaves room for a couple more, and kind of takes a little bit of the pressure off. I don't think we're too worried about the money. But it takes a little bit of the pressure off, which is a good thing. So, here I am. It's a Tuesday. I'm back out and at it. I've been able to take some days off lately. My wife has really kind of stepped up to the plate and taken a couple swings, so she's got a few nights on me. So, which is good. I feel good. I feel rested. Finally, because I was kind of feeling like, ugh. So that's a good thing. So, now that my rambling is done, just kind of want to run a few things by you here. And I know that most of you have probably had this problem where you are called a liar all the time. No matter what it is, if it doesn't fit into that narrative of the person, if it isn't what they want to hear, you're lying to them. Now, this usually comes from people that lie at any chance they get, that take absolutely no responsibility for their own actions, yet want you to take all the responsibility, not just of your own actions, but sometimes from their actions as well. So My father was really bad for that. My father was, a habitual liar. And it's not like he was lying to cover something up. It was that he was lying to you because fuck you. Because I can lie to you. Because I'm the boss and what I say goes. And even if what I say is a lie, it still goes because I am better than you. You are beneath me. And that's how my father would do it. And it didn't matter what it was about. If you asked him something, if he didn't want to do it, if he didn't want you to do it, if he didn't want you to know about it, that was my father's first reaction, was to lie to you. And again, fuck you. That's why. Just as simple as that. And this was a guy that was trying to beat a value into me that lying is completely unacceptable. Lying makes you nothing but a liar. So every word that came out of my mouth was a lie. Did I lie? Yeah. When I was a kid. Every kid does that. Every kid, did you do this? No. It's just what you do. It's what kids do. It doesn't make you a liar. It just means that a child is learning. When you become a teenager or even a young adult, you might start learning to lie the same way that your parents have lied to you, to cover something up, to throw somebody off of the trail of what you were doing because you wanted to do something that they didn't want you to do. Did you go over and see that girl today? No. Everybody's done it. But that shouldn't define you as a liar. What do you mean, Joe? That sounds like a liar to me. Well, yeah, of course it does. But it's something that everybody has done. I guess once you hit a certain age and you realize that, it's kind of easier to just tell the truth. Or you get to that point to where you're just like, you know what? Fuck you. I don't care what you say. This is the truth. If you don't like it, tough titty. So we get to that point. But when we're kids, and sometimes when you are in the position that we find ourselves in, we may lie as a means of self-defense. Because we know we had to do something and it just wasn't going to, you weren't going to be allowed to do it. You weren't going to be able to do it. People just didn't understand. We lie to our kids sometimes. Just a simple, can I have a cookie? Well, we don't have any more. You get a big old bag of Chips Ahoy sitting in the damn counter. Well, it's easier for you to tell your child, no, we just don't have any, so that they'll leave you alone about the cookies, because you can't have a cookie now. We didn't eat dinner. It doesn't make somebody a liar. A liar is a person that just habitually cannot tell the truth. That they just lie as in a second nature. That they just lie because fuck you. That's why. I was dubbed a liar. And no matter what, no matter how much I told the truth, it didn't matter because I was lying. As long as that narrative, what I was saying, didn't fit what my father had framed for me, I was lying about it. I was lying about it until I actually had to lie to say, okay, yeah, whatever you say, and yes, that's what I did. Just so that you'll stop calling me a liar. Just so that you'll stop punching me in the face and telling me I'm a liar. Self-preservation. I made a video one time about a lock-in at the YMCA that I went on with this church group. And maybe the friends that invited me to it didn't understand it. Maybe I didn't understand it. Maybe my father as a parent didn't look into it or ask questions about it, but it all kind of just got fucked up. The wheels just fell off the bus. We were supposed to stay in the YMCA all night, bring your sleeping bag, and you play, and you just go to sleep, and you wake up to church services the next day in the YMCA. But about 2 o'clock in the morning, the YMCA told everybody to get the hell out. So when I told my father the story as to why I was turned out into the streets of Orlando at 2 a.m., I was a liar. And my friends that confirmed the same story as me, they were liars as well. It was a conspiracy. We were all conspiring together. And when my friends' parents had the same story, it was, they're just a bunch of non-English speaking immigrants and their kids can get over on them. Just because their friends lie doesn't mean that you're going to get over on me. And I took hell for that. My mother is a habitual liar. My mother at 65 years old tells you things because that is what she's supposed to do. If you tell my mom, did you take a shower? Oh, I just took a shower just 10 minutes ago. Mom, your hair is still dry. What? My mother is a habitual liar. She lies just for the sake of lying. She lies because the truth is more embarrassing. That's why my mother lies. And, I think my mother's done it her whole life. She's always, I guess, lied to me about things that she's done to not make me upset. As in, when my sister didn't want to go stay with my father for the weekend visitation, and I would ask my mom, what did you guys do while I had to go to my father's? Oh, we didn't do nothing. We didn't do this. And meanwhile, everybody's got tan lines in the shape of sunglasses around their eyes from where they've been at the beach. And I just sat at my father's house listening to him break wind. So, yeah, I think my mother's been doing it her whole life. Not nearly as bad as what she does it now. I'll give you an example of this here. My wife told my mother while she was in the hospital, she told my mother that she showed me the text messages from my sister. And she told my mother, pretty much, I don't know what happened to him when he was growing up, but when I read these text messages, what he read in these text messages just confirms what he is saying. And you did absolutely nothing to defend him. You just allowed this girl to say whatever she wanted to just trash your son, the guy that has been there for you the past 10 years. You just allowed her to trash him, and the only thing that you were worried about was your own relationship with her, making sure you can preserve your relationship with her. And then my mother goes on to say, oh, well, he doesn't hear when I'm on the phone with her. He should hear how I defend him while I'm talking on the phone. That's a lie. My wife knows this is a lie just because of how my sister is. When you say something that my sister doesn't agree with or does not fit my sister's narrative, my sister will just hang up on you. She don't want to hear it. She don't care what you have to say. And if you continue to talk about it, she will hang up the phone. So if my sister were to say, oh, well, Joey's a retard. Well, don't you call him that bad one, and she'll just hang up the phone. My sister is the type of person that if you were sitting in front of her and you were talking about something that she did not want to hear, she would literally stick her fingers in her ears and go, la, 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 so that she couldn't hear what you were saying. And she would do this in a very angrily way to show you, to the point where you would just stop. You were just like, you know what? You can't talk to people. And that was her whole point. That is why she would do it. Literally, I'm not exaggerating about this. I'm not giving an example. She would literally take her fingers and stick them in her ears and go, la, 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 so she couldn't hear you. So how the hell is my mother going to be able to defend me in a phone conversation? This is a lie. My wife started getting on to my mother about the condition her apartment is in. It's bad. I mean, you can't breathe in her apartment. And it's just, she's not like she's been living there for a long time to get that condition. But when you go into her apartment, you can't breathe out of your nose. You breathe out of your mouth. It stinks. It reeks of cat odor. It reeks of garbage. So my wife starts telling her this. You don't notice this. You're in there. You get used to it. How can you breathe in that type of environment? Oh, well, it just because I've been sick the past couple days, I didn't do it. No, it's not. It gets when you lived with us, when you lived by yourself, when we lived over here, when we lived over there. Your room, your apartment, your trailer always gets into the same condition. No, it don't. You're lying. You're making excuses for yourself. She's telling my mother about the empty cans of cat food. And she's telling her, you have all these cans sitting in your refrigerator. They're all sitting in your trash can. They got particles of food, of cat food, sitting in it. It stinks. Oh, I've been washing them cans out so that they won't stink. No. Again, you're lying to me. And I'm just so proud of my wife that she actually mustered up the strength to do this, to confront her with this. She says, no, there's like 5 of them sitting in there. You are not washing these things out. You're not taking your trash out. You're not scooping the litter box. You're not doing the things that you need to do to take care of your apartment. Well, it's because I'm sick. I can't do it. No, it's not. You are getting sick because you can't breathe in this place. It's like, what came first, the chicken or the egg? Did her sickness come first, or did the filthy apartment come first? It's the filthy apartment. Because she goes into the hospital, and she gets good, clean oxygen to breathe for a couple days, and she starts feeling better. And she's been released already. They went and they did this little thing where they put a camera into one of her arteries to look in her heart. Her heart is good. Everything is fine. There's no blockages, no nothing. They released her that very same day. She has already been released. And she came out breathing fine. Has all of her strength. And I can tell you this. It'll be a few days. It'll be a few weeks maybe. And her apartment's going to get into the same condition. And she's going to be suffocating herself through her own filth. And then lying about it. So, I don't know. I mean, are we all a bunch of liar, liar, pants on fire? Even though we all have had to tell a white lie a time or two. We've all told a lie out of self-preservation. We've all told a lie just to save somebody's feelings or whatever the case may be. But some of us are held to a higher standard. Some of us have that higher standard just forced upon us with the fist of thunder to your face. You know, on here sometimes you'll hear me mention about my father's infidelities. You'll hear me mention in here about my sister's infidelities. I'm not saying any of that stuff because I hope somebody's wife or husband leaves them or something like that. I say that on here just to point out the hypocrisy. I say things like that out on here because sometimes these people think that it's everybody else but them, and that is one surefire way that I have to be able to say, well, look at this big turd that you just left on the carpet. It's right here. Look. Do you see? Look. That's my way of being able to do that. And I know that when I do that, people's assholes get tight. Because they know it's the truth. And as much as they want to, he's just a big liar, liar, pants off. As much as they want to do that, it doesn't matter. Because they know it's the truth. You got that, Pops? You need me to start breaking out that shoot golf at Hotmail email stuff? You need me to break into that stuff? So you guys think I'm going through my mother's Facebook to get pictures and stuff like that? Are you serious? Do you not know me? You think I need that kind of shit? People are dumber than a bag of hammers. And I don't look at any of your shit. I don't care about any of you. If I need something, I go and I take it. That's all. That picture of you on that video, I needed a picture and I found the stupidest looking one I can find. And if at any time y'all want to see some more, I got plenty of them. I think you can keep me out of that shit. So, just a little bit further into this here, and we talk about, my wife's conversation with my mother. My wife told my mother, she says, you really have no clue of what he went through when he went to go live with his father. And my mother's response to that, her first response was to tell my wife about how much stuff she did with me and how good of a mother she was to me and all this. And it's clear. My wife can clearly see that this is another lie. She can clearly see it. And she tells my mother, a trip to the park or something like that just doesn't make up for any of that abuse. It doesn't make up how you always favored the sister over him. And it's clear that you did that because if you read these emails, or these text messages, it's very clear. It's very clear. And then my mother's response was, well, I wasn't there when he was with his father, so I can't control any of that. And my wife looked at her, she says, Can you imagine if my daughter, your granddaughter, was attacked? And my response was, well, I wasn't there, so, it's not my problem. Can you imagine? But that was my mother's response. She wasn't there, so it just wasn't her responsibility. Yeah. But you're the one that sent me to go live with him, right? Knowing that he was an abuser. Saying that you were abused by the man yourself. And you still sent me to go stay with him. And just real quick before I end this here. My father, when I went to go live with my father, he didn't do that because he wanted to be a better father or he wanted a better life for me or anything like that. My father took custody of me and eventually took custody of my sister so that he wouldn't have to give my mother any money. That was just his way of being able to control the money flow. And you've all heard the men that paid child support complained about what the mothers are doing with the money. That was my father. My father actually sat in front of a judge and told the judge how my mother's just squandering all the money. That was one of my father's words, was squander the money. You know, if you got paid $200 a week and your electric bill was $195 and you paid it and you only had $5 for the week, you just squandered your money. That was his word, squander. You squandered your money. So my father took both me and my sister in, not to give us a better life, but so that he can control where the money was going and how much of it he was going to have to put out. That was it. There is no other reason. I don't care what he says, how he wants to lie, or whatever it is. The only reason he took us was so that he can control where the money was going to go, what the money was going to be used on, and he could definitely cut that budget down. Definitely. So, guys, thank you very much. Hope this is helpful. It was helpful to me. Kind of talk about these things and, you know, say what's going on. I have another video that I want to make because I actually started, I got my new insurance card, so for health insurance, so I'm actually starting to make some more appointments for my back, and I might want to just go talk to somebody again and just kind of get reevaluated with PTSD and things of that nature, just kind of see where I am. Kind of like to see if I can do anything like as far as hypnosis and stuff like that, but I guess I'm reaching for it there. So, guys, thank you very much.